And then Clausy's generation, it's all just costuming. But they're just everywhere from 1950s culture to goth, emo, punk, everything.
This is now, and this is now. It's this now and this now.
Well, howdy, Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this brand new day. Yay! It wasn't that hot yesterday. It wasn't that hot last night while sleeping. It's not supposed to be hot today. Thumbs up on that. I mean, mid-70s, so warm but not blistering. Yay! I was watching. Well, I watch a fair amount, not a ton, but a couple of movie-like reaction channels. And one of the movie reaction channels I just watched this morning was they had watched the movie Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. If you ever have a chance to stream Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, please do. That is an excellent comedy. It is a horror comedy. There is a lot of very graphic death in it, but it is very, very funny, so thumbs up on that. And of course, front-loading your videos. Hey, if you could toss me a like if you like what you hear and see, that'd be very cool. And if you do like and hear what you see, and you haven't subscribed to the channel, if you could subscribe, that would be very awesome. If you could leave me a comment, that would be double plus good. And hey, I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons, these literally beautiful and literally awesome people who are in fact literally beautiful and literally awesome. Excuse me. Without these people's help, I would be hosed like a Christmas monkey, and trust me, that is not a way that you want to be hosed. So thank you very much to each of these people, and if you'd like to become a patron and help me live, I have links to my Patreon in the PayPal in the video description. There are links to a PayPal if you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, and there's also links to an Amazon wishlist link if you'd like to help me out without sending any money at all. And of course, there are links to my post office box if you'd like to send me a postcard or anything at all. Anything at all I will show in video and unbox. So thumbs up on that. Hey, front loading of videos over. Yay! So yes, I watched people reacting to Tucker and Dale versus Evil this morning. Very, very cool. I also have to check my various lists here because there's all sorts of stuff I want to talk about. Not a lot of it huge. When you are taking antidepressants, and my ADHD med is an antidepressant. It's bupropion, Worldbuilding. It works for ADHD, and it's an antidepressant. I was talking with my therapist about this before when I had to stop taking, I went on to half doses of the bupropion, Worldbuilding, because I had ordered it and it kept not showing up. So I was on my subclinical dose. I mean, I'm already on a low dose, and then I had to have that. Apparently, when that happens, it can actually make your depression worse when you go onto a subclinical dose. So I was getting no help at all during that period of time. But, try to remember what I was thinking and talking about again, taking a look on my list here. Boy, I don't have any of that at all. But the point being, I've been taking the antidepressants, I've been taking the bupropion, I have kept forgetting, so my depression and non-depression is still rocky like this, so here's hoping that I can continue to take it the way I'm supposed to. Past that, I get a lot of energy when I take my Worldbuilding in the morning, and then I'm able to think and remember more in the afternoon and evening, which is a very good thing. Thumbs up on that. But there are a few things on my list, not a whole lot. In fact, there's only 2 things that aren't involving like creative story processing and stuff. The other one was there are a lot of people these days, not the bigger channels, even though bigger channels are also talking about, and when I say bigger channels, I mean people like Melia, no. People like Jacksepticeye and all that have made the occasional post about how it's hard even for them to get a lot of their videos out there and watched because of the way the various algorithms are working. And I've been watching a lot of channels that Yeah, I got a lot of subscribers. If you watch, I got like 100 viewers. So that's the subscriber count isn't important, but there are channels who have anywhere from 10,000 to a couple 100,000 subscribers, and they get tens, if not hundreds of thousands of views, and a lot of them are just saying, I give up out of frustration. I've been trying to do these things. My videos aren't getting out there. I've been trying to make a living doing this, and I can't. The stuff that's being promoted are the big channels, the channels that are like run by corporations. And YouTube has changed in the past couple years. It's more corporate and not community. So any hopes that I have of making it big on YouTube, they vanished years ago. I've just been trying to keep a presence here. And any presence that I can have is a thumbs up on that. I just like being able to survive, and that's a good thing. Which has become harder. Last year, toward the end of last year, I got paid by YouTube. And then a couple months later, at the beginning of this year, I got paid by YouTube again. Well, it's January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. We're almost into September. It's been 9 months since I've gotten paid from YouTube. I remember back when I was with Machinima, I steadied like 30, 40 bucks a month. Not a lot, but it was something. Now it's maybe once or twice a year. So, yay. I can't complain too much. I mean, I will. I'm a human being, but life is life. Life is life. Oh, and as a minor thing, I'm not best friends with my half-brother. I am Facebook, not YouTube. I am Facebook friends with my half-brother, whom lives in Washington State somewhere, or Oregon. I can't even remember where, but that's fine. But I had a big shot of, oh my God, of nature versus nurture, because I've mentioned before how comedy and all this, it's tragedy versus comedy. If I cut my finger, that is a tragedy. But if you fall into an open sewer and die, that is comedy. So everything is subjective, but at the same time, there are things that are objectively humorous. It's just that they don't seem humorous on a subjective level because it happens to us. I cut my finger, that's a tragedy. But I've gotten to the point where when I do something stupid, I fall down and get hurt, or I drop something and break it, or such like that, I immediately laugh to try and take the sting out of it, and then just talk about how, to myself, sure, subjectively, this is painful at the moment, but objectively, this is funny. And so I have mentioned in channels things like this, and objectively, this is funny. So I mentioned in a private message type thing to my half-brother how our father had left me a message on the answering machine and said, well, I'm pretty sure your answering machine displays phone numbers, so he didn't give me his phone number when he called. My answering machine doesn't do that. So I had no way to call him back. And I mentioned that to my half-brother. And he said, objectively, that's funny. Which was, I say that sort of thing. I guess we share genetics, and you can tell. I mean, of course we share genetics, half-brothers, same father, but I didn't expect to have the sort of thing that I say come back at me from somebody in family. So it was kind of a surprise, and I was like, not rocked back, but just going, whoa. Because I grew up having a sister, and I never had any other siblings than a sister, and she's, quote unquote half sister, different father, but she was same mother, she was my sister. So it's weird that there's other siblings of mine out there. So, thumbs up on that. Past that, went on walkies, did a bunch of thinking. There's a bunch of thinking on stuff about my setting right now that I'm not really going to talk about, number one, because I don't want to get demonetized. And number two, it's stuff that I have to think about because it fits the setting, because it determines how characters act, but it's not really something I want to make part of a story. As the cryptids in my Brookerton, South Carolina cryptid setting are, all cryptids on this world are more feral, more animalistic, more not determined by, but running by a lot of instinct, cryptid instinct, especially the expressed cryptids and not the born cryptids, because everybody has extra universal chromosomes with extra universal genes, and through exposure and just the way things are, those genes can express, and you can express as a cryptid and become one. Because you become one, you don't have any instinct on how to act as a cryptid. A portion of your personality is basically excised and replaced with programming. So you, when you express, have cryptid programming. Sometimes it's so thick and heavy that you are basically a robot following a script. You are trapped underneath it, and you can't even let anyone know that you're there because the programming is so hard. And it's terrible for those people. And there are some whose programming is so light that they basically don't even know that they have programming. And so, there are a lot of things that happen in the cryptid stuff that I don't really want to bring up, but it is a part of what's happening, as well as there are things in the whole Razor's Edge and such setting. I'm trying to dance around the subject again because I don't want to get demonetized, but casual not wearing of clothing on the Razor's Edge is very common, exceptionally so, and on a contextual level, everybody treats this as completely normal. As long as you are just acting normal while you are doing something, say you want to change a t-shirt, you're a young gal, you're a woman, but whether or not, and you want to change your shirt. And if it's summer, if you just strip your shirt off and you're not wearing anything underneath that, and then you put the other one on, nobody's even going to notice, because contextually, that's just normal. You ask people that are there, they wouldn't remember that anything is going, whoa, what happened? No, I don't remember that, because it's normal. And so the same thing on the cryptid part, as they're more animalistic. I had mentioned how there is my one cryptid character, Polly. Her parents, when they met, had relations just in the middle of the street after eating someone. That's basically the way the cryptids work. It does. If you are in a group setting where it would be a bad thing to interrupt it with too much noise or craziness, then show respect. You don't do anything that would call attention. But if you are just in a public area and nothing really is happening, just people being people, or cryptids, if you are with your partner and you're feeling frisky, they're feeling frisky, if you find a flat spot with enough room, you just go at it. And nobody is going to notice, because for hundreds of thousands of years, this has been normal. It's not unusual. It's not strange. They could be right next to you making a lot of noise while you're sitting there on a park bench. Asked about it 5 minutes later, you'd be surprised if they said that was happening right there. Say, I didn't notice. Because why would you? This is normal society. Just like in our world, if people are doing normal things, if somebody walks by you looking at their phone, you're not going to make any notice of that, because that's normal. Same there. It's something that colors and touches every part of their society, but it's never going to be a plot point. So I have to think about this sort of stuff and how it shapes their world. But because it's not really a plot point, I'm not really going to do anything with that other than, I have to explore where it goes in the world. But past that, no. Which, speaking again about these characters, because they are more feral, it's only been in the past 100 and some odd years that any of the cryptids that don't deal intimately with human beings have done things like started to wear clothing. And it started off way back a couple generations where they just used heavy non-ornamental stuff that would last, going into more ornamental, to ending up with Clausy's parents where they wear, basically like 1950s thick outerwear so that it lasts. And then Clausy's generation, it's all just costuming, but they're just everywhere from 1950s culture to goth, emo, punk, everything is represented because they want what humans have. But at the same time, except for those cryptids that deal intimately with humans on a near constant basis, you've got people like Polly. Again, that's just her costume. She would be perfectly comfortable if she just forgot to dress that day and went out with nothing. Because in the cryptid world, again, that's normal. You're not going to notice when somebody walks by you wearing a coat on a cold day. That's normal. These cryptids aren't going to notice if a cryptid walks past them wearing nothing, because that's normal. And so they live in a very, very different world than we do. There is a lot more that I do have on my list that I want to talk about, but at the same time, especially since I had actually written down about the game Mortuary Assistant, I was going to talk about my reaction to that. But I'll have to save that for tomorrow, because I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. Not many people have, but anything more than 0 is awesome. So thank you, each and every one of you. And if you have watched this far, thank you. I don't have many viewers. I have no idea how many viewers actually watch to the end, but if you do, it is appreciated. Nobody is forcing you to. I can't force you to, and I wouldn't want to. I believe in consent and just damn near everything. So nobody's forcing you to, and it is greatly appreciated that you do. Now I have opened up my Chrome, and again, if I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count in American Sign Language, well, you've already seen how my ADHD and more works. So we have Easy Livin'. Is that from the Uriah Heep song? But thumbs up, thank you very much, and it is good to talk about very deep stuff like that with people. Thumbs up, thank you very much for the comment. The Horror Files, greatly appreciated, and I forgot to give you a shout out at the beginning of the video, but yes, I'll try and do that tomorrow. I still do that, but nobody ever asks because I forget to tell people. And then we have Adrian, thumbs up, and thank you, and hopefully you checked out the creative channel. It's different. And then we have Jesse Koskinen, always good to see you in the comment, my friend. Thumbs up. We have Schwooty Woot. I actually have not done an LP on the latest Project Brutality and all that. I did an LP of like the first episode of Doom using a version of Project Brutality. I'd like to do it again with some of the upscale stuff. So who knows? Thumbs up and thank you. And then we have J-A-Y, thumbs up. Thank you very much. And I also work on determinism. I also believe we live in a deterministic universe. So I've talked about that, but I'll do it again. Thumbs up. We have Confused Owl 29. Good to see you in the comments. And hey, whether or not it's true, I mean, we'd never be able to physically prove whether or not there's a multiverse. I mean, it's kind of a faith matter. And then we have the Wee Todd, thumbs up, and thank you very, very much. There is Jealousy Xanderblood, greatly appreciated, and that's actually pretty cool. Margan is an anagram for the word anagram. Then we have Insignificant Nick, thumbs up, thank you very, very much. Keep on scrolling. Ben B, greatly appreciated, and it's good. It is good to walk, and hopefully you can keep walking and walking further. Definitely a thumbs up. It is good to hear. And that is it. 11 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. Greatly appreciated. Get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, if only for a short time, and if only in text. Definitely a thumbs up. Well, it being a weekend still, I'm going to try and get something done today. As in even play games. I don't think I played a single game yesterday other than recording for like the channel. So I want to watch videos and play games. I mean, I'm playing Ghosts of Tsushima. I want to keep doing that. I need to not replay, but get back into Grim Dawn for the PC. So there is that. Oy vey. But past that, not really going to do anything today. So hopefully you're going to take it easy and have a good day as well. And of course, when you deal with other playgrats, I mean human beings, please be smart, be careful for your situation. The Covfefe bug is raging around the world, and it is still catching, it is still mutating, it is still killing. Be smart, be careful, don't kill yourself, don't kill others. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a very good thing.